Hey guys, Cody T here. Just wanted to do a quick video, or well, hopefully quick. I'll try not to take up too much time, because I have over 100 subscribers now, and I know that many of you have accumulated not particularly because of an interest in me and my personal interests, but I just thought I'd do something different and upload something for your viewing pleasure, just to let you know a little bit more about me and the things I like. Obviously, many of the things on my channel have to do with music, and that's what this video is about. This is basically going to be about some of my favorite CDs in my not immense collection, uh, but it's sizable, I guess you could say, and I'm proud of it. Of course, I have many more that I want to get, and it's just a matter of time and money. But yeah, this is basically. It's not necessarily going to be some of my favorite albums because I have too many to put in a video, and I will be omitting some. And rather, this is mainly just some of the coolest uh, albums, CDs I have in my collection in terms of packaging and artwork. And when I say artwork, I don't mean necessarily my favorite album covers of all time, but just, uh, most of these are deluxe version CDs that I picked up over the years, and I'm just going to display some of the ones that I thought were the coolest. So let's kick it off with Neon Bible, the deluxe version, by a little known band called Arcade Fire. And I say little known sarcastically because even though they can be labeled as alternative or indie or whatever you want to call them, they are not little known. And in most circles, they are pretty big, uh, very successful. They won a Grammy a couple years ago, and they definitely have made it. Definitely further than you'd think a band this good would go these days. Let's take a peek inside. Here's the standard CD, which I'm assuming is what comes with the standard regular edition. I don't have the original slip case here because I somehow managed to clumsily misplace that sometime between now and when I first bought this in 2007. But no big deal. The main attraction for this deluxe edition will be the flip book, which, as you can see, whoops again. Some illustration there. There's one of the album cover. Nothing we haven't seen before, but if you don't mind spending a few extra bucks, especially for a great modern album like this, go ahead and pick up the deluxe version. I mean, basically what you're getting are these special flip books and the hologram cover here, but if you're a huge fan of Arcade Fire and just a fan of novelty CD collectibles, then definitely get this one. I mean, it's a great album. I don't need to say much more. I mean, you can just go read the critical acclaim, the reviews, I mean, to see how this was received. And I'm not even going to go into the actual music side of this. I just love the packaging, and it's one of my favorites. Next, I have the Traveling Wilburys collection. If you don't know, the Traveling Wilburys were a super group of sorts that consisted of Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, the legend who that is George Harrison, Roy Orbison, and the guy from Electric Light Orchestra. I can never remember his name. I think it's Jeff something. Uh, Probably should have checked that before I did this, but let's look inside here. It's a 3-disc collection. You got their first album and their second album, which unfortunately had to be done without Roy Orbison because he passed before he could begin work on the album. So sadly he was gone before work on this second CD commenced, but you know, they're both very great. Roy Orbison lends his classic, timeless, instantly recognizable vocal to several tracks on the first one, and just the fact that he did that is good enough for me. Nothing too special about what's inside here, but what's good about this collection is that it brings together all of their music videos on one DVD disc and both of their albums all in one set with much better design and album art than the actual original CDs. Go take a look at those and you'll probably agree with me. They do not have the best album art, in my opinion. Nothing too special here, just some pictures and brief history of the band. But yeah, you know, these guys were kind of a well-kept secret, or at least they were to me, because I certainly hadn't heard of them until this collection came out in 2007, I believe, and which is odd because you obviously have these legends, these huge forces in rock and pop music coming together to form one huge, awesome super group band, whatever you want to call them, and I don't think they really had any hits, although there's certainly several that I think could have been huge pop radio and country crossover smash hits. So that's pretty odd, but you know, I'm not really into this blues, southern rock fusion type of music, but this is definitely an exception in my collection. And you know, it's just a beautiful, beautiful package here that you get. Definitely pick this up. You can probably get it used pretty cheap these days. Moving on, here's actually a new addition to my collection, or newer, Kasabian live at the O2 Arena in London, England. If you don't know who Kasabian is, they are I don't like to say indie. I don't like to slap that on every band that's not, you know, Nickelback or the Rolling Stones. But I guess you could classify them as that. Although I will say that in their native UK, they are mega stars, rock stars. They are the U2 of England. I mean, they are paparazzi, glitterati, you know. Here in the States, not so much. I've seen them twice, and the last time was a few months ago, and they played a very small venue, not a huge turnout, which is cool for obvious reasons. You know, intimacy at a gig between a band is great, but I do feel like they should have a little more success here in the United States because they're a great rock outfit, and there's not a lot of those these days. Just straight up rock and roll music. But anyways, back to the matter at hand. The collection here is just superb. It's all recorded straight. There's no gaps here. There's no sort of, I mean, yeah, there's post-production mixing, I'm sure, but it's basically was captured as similar to a bootleg, although this is done officially, and the quality of the recording is much better than a audience recording that you might hear of the same show. These were issued by Concert Live, which is a promotion that I've actually kind of had my problems with through orders online in the past, but I won't delve into that really. Other than some customer service problems, they put out some really good collections. It's a must-have if you're a Kasabian fan, and it's definitely one of my prized possessions, even though it's rather new to my family of CDs. But you know, you've got the simplistic cover here with a still from one of their music videos, and it just instantly catches your eye. And yeah, I mean, if you have all other Kasabian albums, this is the quintessential live recording for this band. So it's a little pricey, I'm not gonna lie. Might have gone down since then, but pick it up if you want a very cool collectible. Next up, I have We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank. Whoops. We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank by Modest Mouse. Not gonna lie, they're not one of my top favorite bands, but they're definitely unique and they bring a lot to the table, and they really helped indie rock, quote there. I know I'm tossing that word around a lot, smacking that label on things, but you know, I guess you could if there's anybody you could say that about, it's Modest Mouse. Of course, Float On was huge, and this album was released at the peak of their success, and they had some mainstream success, but their sound is not very mainstream, or what the mainstream usually consists of. But yeah, this album, it's a good album, but I think the best part of this CD is the deluxe edition that they issued upon its release. Beautiful art booklet here. Usually paper, these lyric booklets are pretty cheap, but something about this one just feels nice and has a fine texture to it, unlike many that you get these days. Cool stuff. And of course, inside of the hardcover here, you have a somewhat standard paper CD cover that holds the disc. I think it's meant to look like an old-timey newspaper cover, or some sort of like a theater ad or something, maybe something to do to fit the nautical theme of the album. Your guess is as good as mine, but cool deluxe edition. If you don't mind spending the extra money. It's definitely the only album I have in a hard cover like this, and this isn't actual wear, by the way. It's meant to look like that, and that's one of the reasons I had to pick it up. And I don't want to go over the time limit, so join me for part 2.